they hate our country. The elite class, the celebrity class, they hate us. And maybe it's time for us to stop supporting them. I'm talking today about two women in the entertainment sphere who I've known pretty well in the past, but they're certainly not patriotic. Ellie Goulding and Lily Allen. After Ellie made headlines for saying that the migrant hotel protesters make her, quote, embarrassed to be British, as she accused demonstrators of using immigration as an excuse to be appalling. This was, of course, all posted on her Instagram account. She said, embarrassed to be a Brit right now. They say it's for the women and children. I'm a pretty tough girl, but when I think about the times I've been intimidated in London or anywhere else in the UK, whether on the tube, train, or walking with friends late at night, it involves those kinds of British men, either after a night at the pub, post-boxing or football match. Stop using immigration as an excuse to be appalling. And if you really want to stand up for this beautiful country, go and get a National Trust membership for real. This just shows you how they live in their own world. Because, of course, you only have to look at the statistics to know that British people are very much at threat as a result of the invasion of the United Kingdom. Those criminals, those terrorists, those murderers, those rapists who are coming in are so high up the crime statistics. But Lily Allen, who actually is probably the most cretinous woman in all of show business, couldn't resist getting involved. She joined Ellie Goulding in hitting out at protesting Brits, as she claimed flying flags is only acceptable during football tournaments. And then she went on a podcast where she was sucked in by some totally untrue claims about St. George. Listen. If you're enjoying what we're doing here on Outspoken, please consider joining our thriving community over on Substack, www.outspoken.live. You can sign up completely for free, but Substack is so important to me. It is a free speech platform. It protects me from big tech cancellation. Plus, you get to communicate directly with me. Head on over www.outspoken.live, enter your email address, and sign up today.
What I love about that is that St. George was Syrian. Isn't that mad? Like the actual history of that saint.
Oh, the irony.
Syrian Palestinian, just to add more fuel to the flames.
Palestinian? What?
Yeah, can you believe it? On Wikipedia as well.
Hang on, you couldn't write this shit.
I know, I remember thinking at the time, these guys need to do one search before... Just one search. I find it very interesting that if the saint of the flag that everybody's putting up did try and get into the country, they would of course be denied access by the very people who now celebrate him.
No, he'd be being put up at a hotel and...
Obviously. Where are you from?
What's your name? You say St. George. Come. I've got Premier travelling with your name all over it. One.
Where'd you come from? Syria? No, but Lily, we can't laugh at this stuff. It'll only wind them up. Seriously.
No, we can.
They'll burn something.
We can laugh it.
They'll burn something.
Yeah.
That's the annoying bloke from Rizzle Kicks, apparently, who she's speaking with. It's not true, by the way. He was Greek. But as Cara Kennedy pointed out, Lily Allen has appointed herself the high priestess of English self-loathing. It's easy for the singer to snare at patriotism after abandoning her country for Brooklyn lofts and Broadway stardom. And of course, this is what makes me sick about the elite and celebrity class. They don't have to worry about their 14-year-old daughters being assaulted in the streets by the like of Haboosh Kabato, as happened in Epping, Essex. And I'm so proud of the patriots in Essex who are taking this shit from totally out of touch morons like Ellie Goulding and Lily Allen who want to make them feel bad. And one of the heroes is, of course, Sarah White, who was arrested earlier in the week on Sunday by the police, the leader of this Reform Epping movement, simply for unfurling her flag outside the Epping Council offices. But last night, she returned to the scene and made it very clear that the police and the deep state are not going to break, not just her, but not going to break this entire movement. Watch.
In this once great country of ours, a sinister and dark undertone which is being used to silence and scare protesters, demonstrators and good, decent, tax-paying people into submission. But we will never surrender. We will fight for right to free speech, just like we will never back away from protecting the most vulnerable in our society, our children. Hang on, where am I? Only a weak and despicable leader would allow criminals to invade our country and put its people in harm's way. And he is. An invasion that continues every single day without consequence.
What's his name? Stop the boat!
Starmer!
Yeah! Stop the boat!
Wait! We all cherish the idea of a democratic and free society where we are allowed to express our views, share ideas and declare our love for our homeland. Over the past weeks, patriots up and down this country have raised the colours and climbed ladders to hang our flags with pride. I say to everyone listening and watching, the people of Epping tonight, love the country in which you live, or go and live in a country you love. This is Epping. This is England.
Oh, I loved that. And Adam Brooks, who's been a local on the ground doing independent reporting, was really emotional after that. Watch.
Walking back from the Bell Hotel protest. And you know what? I'm quite emotional because I sat and talked to the father of the young girl that was sexually assaulted by the Ethiopian migrant that was staying at the Bell Hotel. That young lady's never going to be the same. And yet we have virtual signalling celebrities and stand up to racism idiots that want to label people like me and her father as racists or far right. I cannot believe this is Britain in 2025, where the government is using our taxpayers' money to house unchecked, unverified foreign men from countries that treat women with disgust, that allow the marrying of children, and they are dumping these men amongst our women and our children. You cannot be right if you support this. You cannot make us wrong. We are not far right. We are just right.
To my superstar panel, Hannah Kirkpatrick of Hannah's World and Martin Gauci of Gauci Reports. And Martin, you were there last night. That was actually your footage of Sarah White. What was the mood like? And had the police calmed down after what happened on Sunday?
Almost, yeah, definitely. I didn't actually go up to the hotel because I got there a little bit later, but I went and met Sarah before she'd done that speech and we had a bit of a chat. And the police presence had completely calmed down. I think it was definitely, the tension had left the area from what had been happening the previous weekend, from the Friday and the Sunday. So it did seem a better mood. That could have been because of the verdict that had been given early that day, because obviously he'd been found guilty. So I think, and obviously then when the protesters had come down and then seen Sarah, there was like, it was a bit of a, not a celebration, but it was more of it was a nice gathering. Do you know what I mean? So the mood had definitely changed. And obviously listening to Adam there, I mean, he's a great guy, he's so passionate, and it's just not, he's local as well. And just going back to like the likes of Ellie Goulding and Lily Allen, I'm not being horrible and I'm going to swear, but they need to just get their head out of their asses. If they want to get involved, then come down to a protest and come and meet real locals in communities that really, all they care about.
They have no desire to do that. All they want to do is degrade and deride, Martin.
But people like that have got to understand is that, do you really think that when we go down to these protests, they want to give up a Friday and a Sunday. They've got a lot of better things to be doing. Giving up hours of their time, week in, week out. There's no other agenda apart from the fact that there's crimes going on, not just in Epping, but all over the UK. And we've had enough. And that is it. And to come out with them silly comments and that stupid like podcast about, St. George and things like that, is just, Lily Allen, the irony when she talks about after the pub and going home and there's like men, after football matches and this, that and the other. Does she not remember who her dad is and why he became famous? He was part of Fat Les. And do you remember the song Vindaloo?
I love it.
Yeah, it's brilliant. And that was all the videos.
Yeah. Although I think it was Ellie Goulding actually who was targeting the men after the pub. But we know what she was saying, Martin. It was very, very clear what she was saying. She was saying white men. That's what she was meaning without saying it, because you know what's acceptable amongst this elite class? Anti-white racism. It's always acceptable. Hannah, can you please respond to Lily Allen and Ellie Goulding? But first, we've always associated chocolate with weight gain. But did you know it's actually been shown to help with fat loss? Studies show that cocoa flavonols, the active compounds in high-quality cocoa, can support fat metabolism, improve insulin sensitivity, and even help reduce abdominal fat. But you'd have to eat so much chocolate to get those benefits that the sugar and calories would cancel them out, or worse, lead to weight gain, not to mention the heavy metals like lead and cadmium found in many cocoa products. This is why I drink Morning Bean by Verso. It's a rich chocolate blend with all the proven benefits of cocoa without the junk. Every batch is third-party tested for heavy metals, so you're getting pure high flavanol cocoa you can actually feel good about. Instead of caffeine, it uses theobromine, a natural compound in cocoa that delivers all-day energy without overstimulating your nervous system. Plus, its ingredients are shown to support muscle growth and performance, improve metabolism, and provide micronutrients from superfoods and electrolytes to rehydrate and fuel your body. So yes, chocolate can help you lose fat, just not in the candy bar form. Since tanking Morning Bean, I've turned my morning ritual into something that supports my energy, my metabolism, and my goals. So start your day with Morning Bean for research-backed detox, energy, and health. Click the link below or visit morning.ver.so/outspoken and use the code outspoken for 15% off. That's morning.ver.so/outspoken, or just click on the link in the description box below. But now, back to the show.
Where do I start with them? First of all, who is still listening to celebrities? I'm sorry, if you did not.
No one.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I mean, I'll start. This might be a bit too conspiracy theorist, but I don't really care, because at this point I just identify as a fortune teller. And I'm also very glad you said deep state, because what people need to understand is these celebrities and these musicians, I'm sure this is not that too avant-garde, they are as bought and paid for as the corrupt politicians. They have talking points from the, they're literally as bought and paid for as the politicians in the WEF, and they have their talking points. They've sold their souls, all that stuff you might have heard about. It's true. They don't have an original thought. They are just parroting the deep state agenda, and that's what they are, deep state puppets. And I'm sick of it, and I'm sorry, but much like in 2020 lockdown period, which I'm still not over, if you saw listening to anybody that was trying to get you to take that vaccine, because that's what they were all doing, they were selling the vaccine, then I'm sorry. If you're on our side of history, as Adam said, and by the way, Sarah White's speech gave me life, but as Adam says, we are not far right, we're just right, and we're on the right side of history, and they are not.
100%. Shut up, play your music, because we like your music, okay? Sometimes. I mean, not so much Lily Allen, but we like your music. And it's like the Taylor Swift thing. No one listened to Taylor Swift when it came to voting for Kamala Harris, right? No one listened to her when it came to that. But we are going to listen to her music, and we are going to love your music, and we are going to support you getting married. But just stay out of politics when you don't even really mean it. But as for Lily Allen and Ellie Goulding, that may have made you be ashamed to be British. Well, you need to research, as Martin says, you need to research the actual people who are at these marches in Epping because they are heroes, they are patriots, and they are your audience. And simply dismissing them as far-right racist thugs, it ain't going to work anymore because your put-downs are just water off a duck's back. We know that the battle is too big, and it has been so great to have both of you making your Outspoken debut on a very busy news day where David Lammy became Deputy Prime Minister. Martin Gauci of Gauci Reports, which you can follow, of course, and subscribe to on YouTube. And he is also the co-host of the Uncensored Patriots on X. And Hannah's World, which is huge on X now. Are you on YouTube too, Hannah?
I am. I'm on TikTok,
Amazing.
YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, X. Just search Hannah's World UK. You'll find me most places.
I'm going to subscribe straight after the show because I absolutely love your videos. But both, please come back very soon. Absolutely loved it. Thank you so much. And we are about to reveal the worst Briton in the world this week. But first, to your comments. Monty0289 says, all of the corrupt Labour establishment needs to go. They are all in it for themselves. How is the worst Deputy PM we've ever had worth £4 million coming from such a scummy background? Urban Archive says 75% of the UK population doesn't even earn £40,000 a year. It is absolutely terrible. But David Langley says, regardless of the incompetence or shameless corruption of others, Keir Starmer remains the worst Briton of the week, as he has done for the past 13 months, because he's the orchestrator of all the turmoil in our country, and he alone bears the responsibility. Indigo Linda Ann 111 says, hands down, it's Red Robin Rayner for her deplorable performance and self-indulgent tears. She wasn't tearful because she was sorry or because she was speaking about her son. Those tears were for herself, as she watched her dreams drain out of her life, just like the colour draining out of her face. It's insulting to hear people make excuses for her because she's working class or due to her son's condition. If she had a shred of integrity, she would resign. She doesn't, which says it all. And Kalaja Chief 187 says, she did know about the tax on her second home, then put it in her son's name, then played the disabled son card, then blamed the solicitors. Then she said she made a mistake and reported herself to Starmer's mates, who will find her not guilty. Then she cried on TV about it. Cranks, the lot of them. So lots of feedback from you coming in. And it is time now to reveal the worst Briton in the world this week. In fourth place, with 2% of the vote, the Chancellor, Rachel from Accounts. In third position, with 4% of the vote, Ed Miliband, who has survived as the country's Environment Secretary in the reshuffle today. The runner-up, with 38% of the vote, Slippery Starmer. But an overwhelming decision, and we can show you all of the results now, with 56% of your vote, the worst Briton in the world this week is Angela Rayner.
Thank you so much for watching Dan Wootton Outspoken. Please click on my face just to the bottom left to subscribe to this brand new independent news source and turn on the notification bell so you'll be alerted to our brand new live shows, uncancelled interviews, and special royal episodes. Outspoken is also now available as a podcast, so you can listen to the show every weekday on the go, wherever you are.